Welcome to the Nostalgic Review. I'm Lyle, and on today's episode, we are going to look at Mrs. Olson from Folgers. If you guys have never seen a Mrs. Olson video or commercial, you guys are in luck. Stay tuned.
I told you the PTA's coming tonight, George. I'm too busy for nonsense.
PTA, huh? Gonna serve your coffee?
You joke about my coffee again. You hear, Mrs. Olson? Like a broken record.
Well, it's one committee member to another. Maybe you should try Folger's coffee.
Why Folgers?
They blend it special. Folger's uses mountain-grown coffee.
Mountain grown?
Yeah, that's the richest kind. Bet your husband tastes the difference.
Mrs. Olson, I'll try Folgers on him tonight.
How about another cup, honey?
You seconds on my coffee?
Tastes kind of great tonight.
See? No trick to making coffee. All you need is a better coffee.
Folgers.
Try Folgers, the mountain-grown coffee. Mountain-grown for better flavor.
So we're back, and you saw some of the craziness that happened in the 60s. Those were actual commercials for Folgers coffee. And Mrs. Olson, she was the spokesman. Mrs. Olson was played by a actress named Virginia Christine, and she was Mrs. Olson for the whole time. There was no character changes or anything. She was it. And to my knowledge, Folgers has not had another advertising character other than Mrs. Olson. I don't think there's ever been another one. They've had the jingle. Everybody knows the jingle. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. And being a coffee drinker, I kind of have to tell you that the best part of waking up is just coffee. Just having coffee in general. Doesn't have to necessarily be Folgers. But this thing right here, this is a recipe book from Mrs. Olson. And Mrs. Olson is a fictional character, but she had her own recipe book. And here it is. We're going to look through it right now. But apparently we get this for free with a purchase of one 3-pound can of Folgers. I actually did not get this free. I had to pay for it. But it's pretty cool. This was, here's an ad for Folgers in the back of it. The best meal is no better than its ending. So it's important to know there's a real difference in coffees, and Folgers is specialty blended for extra good taste. It even smells delish. Folgers is mountain grown, the richest coffee there is. Enjoy it. She was always big on saying that the stuff was mountain grown. Guaranteed a great final for every meal. I'll be honest. I grew up with a lot of coffee drinkers. My aunts and uncles would come over late at night. My mom would put on coffee. And then I married my wife. And my wife does not drink coffee at night. I drink coffee at night sometimes I don't know why. I just do because I just want a cup of coffee. And then I'll go to bed right afterwards. So that was the normal for me. My wife, on the other hand, she can't drink past like 5. She says she stays up, and I'm like, man, my aunts and uncles used to come over at like 8, and my mom would put a pot of coffee. It would be Folgers crystals, because that's all my mom did. And so let's dive into this sucker. Let's see. How to make great tasting coffee. It gives you instructions on how to do it. Basically just throw some of this into the coffee machine, let it go. Let's see, copyright. Is there a copyright on this sucker? See when it was. 1973, guys. 1973. Let's take a look at some of these recipes, because I'm not much of a cooker, but my wife is. And man, I don't know why this thing's all messed up. They could have put more into like production of these things. The staples go right through there. Is there staples back here? Yeah, there's staples here. Why do we have staples down the spine and then right here? It just makes it harder to turn. Who knows? All right, so here's a nice letter from Miss Olson. She's Miss Olson telling us she wants to share some special recipes with us. They're family style recipes. And yada yada. But that looks like a really nice spread. And the fireplace in the back. Man, this looks so inviting. And here is some coffee recipes. Let's see. What is this? A cake? Bundt cake? I don't know. Like I said, I know nothing about cooking. My wife's the cooker. I can only cook chili, and that's about it. And cereal. Man, this is mostly just... Where's all the food? Come on, food. Here's some food. Let's see what we got here. Some dips. Chestnut meatballs, huh? That does not sound appetizing to me at all. Cheese balls. Hot apple toddy. Fruit and Franks. Mexican nachos, huh? Come on, Mrs. Olson. Give me something good here. Meaty stuffed turkey. Ground veal. Where do you get ground veal from? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I live in Tennessee. I should really go look to see what's around here. Man, there's a lot of recipes in this sucker. I think that's one. The instructions are very simple. Old-fashioned main dishes. These pictures look great. Looks like it's just a bunch of old-style recipes. Here's a casserole. More casseroles. I'm not big on casseroles. I don't know about you guys. But shepherd's pie, I'm into. And I'm into soups. I really like soups. Turkeys on a meal. This looks interesting. Smart shopper tips. All right, guys, here we go. Straight from Mrs. Olson. Here are 2 bargain ways to buy beef pot roast. Have your meat man cut off a bone-in piece left of a blade. 7-bone roast. Cut this as Swedish pot roast. Cut the boneless piece right into cubes for chuck wagon stew. There you go. Nice tip from Mrs. Olson. These game hens. They look delish. I'm more interested in what's going on back here. Nice family outing. Yeah, but who's cooking? Probably just left it as they went about their day. Oh, man. I could just look at stuff like this forever. Only me would look at old magazines and just be in awe about all of the pictures and what's going on in the backgrounds. Here we go, some good salad recipes. What in the world is that? Blue cheese? Slaw? Egg slices, huh? It's kind of some deviled egg right there. Look at that knife. Man, I should give this to my wife and be like, here, make me some of these. She probably would not find it as amusing as I would. Here's some bread recipes. Cookies. Bread warm from the oven. Here's some pies. Deep dish apple pie, huh? Golden peach pie. I'm not a big pie person. Like, that's one thing that I just won't eat. If there's fruit in it like this, yeah, no way. I can't eat stuff that has fruit in it like this. I don't know why. It just grosses me out. Call me weird, but fruit in anything is a no-go for me. I can't eat ice cream with fruit in it. I can't eat yogurt with fruit in it. Like, it's got to be no fruit. No, none. Ugh. So, oh, that's it. I think I skipped a page. Yeah, more stuff with fruit in it. Yeah, no thanks. But hey, if you like it, by all means, go for it. There's a nice recipe index about all the recipes, and that's the end. Here is the advertisement for Folgers, yet again. So Mrs. Olson, she was fun. She had her moment, and times have definitely changed from the style commercial she was in. I really did like how it always seemed like Mrs. Olson always had a can of Folgers lying around. I could understand at her house, but when she would go somewhere else and they'd be like, oh man, Mrs. Olson, help. My wife can't make a cup of coffee to save her life. And she busts it out of her purse and says, hey, check out this can of Folgers. Here you go. I just thought that was always fascinating how she would always do that. All right, guys. So that was Mrs. Olson's get-together recipes. And I did an episode of Mrs. Olson on Amazing Advertising. So if you want to go check that out, just look up the podcast, Amazing Advertising. And I believe she's like number 9 or 8, somewhere around there. But just to give you guys a little insight, I did mention this book on the podcast, and I had to do probably about, I won't exaggerate and say maybe 20 different takes of me trying to say Mrs. Olson's get together recipes. For whatever reason, I couldn't say it. But yeah. All right, guys. If you guys like the video, if you like all of the shows I'm doing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You'll get a notification every single time a new episode drops, and you'll be able to check out all of the fun stuff that I have. And yeah, like, subscribe, leave me some comments, and let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. See you next time.